Awesome. Good to see everyone here for this call with Ahmed from Scroll. This has been a long-awaited, highly anticipated session where Ahmed will get to talk about, Scroll integration into what we're building, also generally the Scroll ecosystem. So Ahmed, welcome very much. And how we'll go over this is briefly, each of the founders could, just take a minute, just introduce themselves, let us know what they're building, and then we'll get to Ahmed and then the session. So let me just start by calling up Collins. And guys, if you're able to put up on your videos, that would also be cool. So Collins, go ahead.
Hi guys, just a minute. Thank you for that, Alex. So just a quick one. So my name is Collins. I'm building BPesa. So BPesa is basically a mobile money platform, that allows for anyone to send, receive, pay for goods and services from anywhere in the world, multi-currency handling, with the lowest transaction fees. So if you've dealt with any mobile money platform, like they have M-Pesa, Airtel, in the different countries, you're able to replicate that while fully abstracting any crypto blockchain concepts. So just creating an account, getting a phone number, and being able to make any transactions anywhere. Yeah. So that's us.
Thank you, Collins. I think next we can go to Dennis.
Yeah. Hello, guys. So I'm Dennis Kimathi, working on a project called Expendi. Ideally, the goal is to help you manage your expenses via crypto native. So you don't have to do any of ramping. You just manage your expenses. If you're more or less like Revolut, but now it utilizes crypto assets, stable coins to be precise. And you can easily know where your expenditure is going to. Just integrating DeFi protocols so that you can also earn yields from your unallocated budget, and pretty much being able to track your expenses. Yeah, that's Expendi for you.
Awesome. Licky.
Thank you, Matu. My background is quite noisy, but I hope you don't mind. My name is Liki Zeru. I'm the founder of Quest Panda. So what we are doing at Quest Panda is that we are linking content creators across Africa, creators from TikTok, Instagram, and X, with marketing gigs from brands which are new, and they are looking for people who can help them to market their products. So yeah, that's what we are doing.
Awesome. Gideon.
Yes, my name is Gideon Getonga from BlockCop. We are a project that is focused on restoring public trust to cooperatives, and therefore we are building a blockchain-powered infrastructure that cooperatives can be able to deploy to solve some of their biggest problems, which include shared trading, guarantorship, managing the DAO, and obviously real-time compliance, including deploying a DeFi protocol for cooperatives. Thank you.
Awesome. Then we have Pablo.
Hi guys, this is Pablo from Carbon Seek. We are democratizing access to carbon credits, voluntary carbon credits from organizations that are willing to embark on the journey of greening their operations. So we're an integration as a service company we integrate to the ERP, POS, and reward you based on your green activities.
Great. Then we have David from Tanzania.
Yeah, hey guys. Sorry, my laptop charger died, so I'm on my phone. But my name is Machuche from Tanzania. We're building NetPay. It's an all-in-one stablecoin platform for SMEs to transact globally. So we enable them to generate payment links, send, receive, invoices, swaps, as well as on and off ramp to their mobile or bank. Thanks.
Awesome. Gikenye, just going through intros. Let's go ahead, Gikenye. Awesome. I think Gikenye is not able to speak. And I even left anyone out. Mercy. Marcia, able to speak? Introduce yourself. You can type up Rosalind. All right, so Rosalind's not also able to speak. Awesome, awesome. I believe each of the founders has introduced themselves. There's some who are not here, so we're recording this to be able to share this with them and also the community at large. Once again, welcome, Ahmed, and take it away.
Yeah, thanks for having me and thanks for all your introductions. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I think it's great what you guys are doing. It's great to be around so many founders, and yeah, of course, being a founder is not it's not easy. But yeah, happy to stay connected with you guys, and I hope that this presentation helped you in basically all that you need to get started for integrated on Scroll, the most important information, and yeah, that's the objective of the presentation, just so you can understand better all the ecosystem, all the tooling that is available for you to build on Scroll. So what we're going to talk about is first, we're just going to do a short recap about how Scroll works. Then what can you build on Scroll? And then about the tooling and ecosystem available for you guys. And finally, how to get started. And then we can have like a conversation, just to answer any questions. I myself have some questions for you guys. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this QR, this link. So this is our developer frequently asked questions. So any question that you have may be here. All the links that I'm going to be about everything that I'm going to be talking about in a moment is going to be in this page. So yeah, feel free to grab it, and so we always try to keep this page updated. So it should always have the newest information. So yeah. Okay, let's just start with a recap about how Scroll works. What is Scroll? So as you may know, Scroll is a layer 2, which means that it works exactly the same as Ethereum, but is cheaper and faster. And in order to do that, Scroll uses OpenVM. That is a CKVM. That means that every transaction that happens on Scroll is verified by the OpenVM system. And why do we want this? Is because OpenVM at the end is just a smart contract on Ethereum layer 1 that verifies every single transaction that you make on Scroll. So if you make a swap, if you mint an NFT, if you make a transfer, everything will be verified by Ethereum itself. So yeah, the great thing about layer 2s is that you can make everything, transactions go faster, better user experience, cheaper transactions, but still everything gets verified by Ethereum at the end. So you get a lot of security. So yeah, that's how Scroll work. Okay, so what do you need and how do you build on Scroll? Of course, you may have be familiar with this, is that all the tooling available for Ethereum or for EVM in general are also available for Scroll. The only thing that you need to do is just replace the RPC URL. So you're free to use Foundry, Hardhat, Remix, Ape to deploy your contract. You're able to use Ether.js, VM, Web3.js on your front end. Any fuzzing tool, all tooling that you are very familiarized with, you're able to use it on Scroll. So no need to learn a new language. You can use Solidity or Viper, and no need to use a new tool because everything should be available. So and also we have Scroll Sepolia testnet. You can try everything out before you deploy. Everything should be basically the same. All the smart contracts as works in Ethereum should also work on Scroll, so you're free to use it. Of course, Scroll runs on top of Ethereum, and Scroll Sepolia runs on top of Sepolia testnet. So if you need some testnet tokens, you can also find the link on how to get in on the frequently asked question sheet that I just shared with you guys. If you want to just start deploying, you can go to and add the RPC URL to your MetaMask or Rabi, and you can start working on both Scroll Mainnet and Scroll Sepolia. Now about the ecosystem, about connecting to what ecosystem is available for you to build. And so Scroll has a very wide ecosystem. That the great thing about Ethereum, the Ethereum ecosystem, Scroll included, is that every application that you build automatically can connect with any other application, and all your users can interact with all the ecosystem in a permissionless way. And also you as developers can integrate with existing applications at smart contract level, if you have a backend, through your backend, if you have a front end, through your front end. So you can use assets that are already existing on Scroll to make your application better. So you can use systems. For example, when you made your presentation, you talk about generating yield. You can use Aave to generate yield. You can use Slido to generate yield. I also heard about you guys mentioning making Web3 accessible and abstracting how the users work with on-chain in a more easy to use front end. You can use Privy to get them on board. You can use Alchemy to sponsor their transactions. There are many tools available for you guys. And also, if you are familiarized with building on the EVM in other chain, you should all the tooling, all the ecosystem should be ready for you to use. For example, with developer tools like also users tools like Etherscan, we have ScrollScan, Dune to fetch data, save, like or Chainlink oracles, and a variety of RPC providers. And also you can run your own node if you want. But yeah, there's a lot of tooling available for you. And in the last slide, I talk about what we call like the blue chip ecosystem. It's like the more established in general in Ethereum. But as you may know, in every chain, this is different. There are some projects that are more commonly used in some chains than others. So we have this dashboard for you guys to understand what like what assets and what projects are being used more than others, so you can decide better what to integrate into your projects. So also this is the ecosystem page or the dashboard, so you're free to look to take a look. It's also on the frequently asked questions sheet. So yeah, just to mention that sometimes the more blue chip projects are available on Scroll, but just because it's a blue chip and well-recognized project, it doesn't mean that it's going to be the best option for you. So I encourage you to take a look at what the data is showing. Maybe users are preferring another project instead of the most famous one. So yeah, there is a wide ecosystem of big projects, also like native projects and just projects that the Scroll audience prefer. Okay, now we talk about how to build on Scroll, the tooling available for you guys to build on Scroll. Let's now talk about what to build on Scroll. And the answer like is very open-ended. And this is a quote from Vitalik that says that the layer 2s are the ultimate playing field for action. And you can think of it like, okay, as a playing field for Ethereum to experiment with new technologies, but also for applications. Like if you're building an application on layer 2s, you can feel free to experiment with a wide variety of things. And I was like very happy to see that you guys all mentioned very different types of projects, and some more for newcomers, some more for experience and DeFi and using new technologies. So that's what layer 2s are about. So yeah, I was very happy to see that. And yeah, like you're free to innovate and just experiment and try different things. Yeah, layer 2s are a great place for this. Okay, now a little bit of technicalities, like what I mentioned that all your projects should work the same in layer 1 as in layer 2, but there are some small differences that I'm going to talk now. So the first difference, of course, is OpenVM. So Ethereum uses the consensus layer to yeah, offer you all the execution of your application. This is done through a set of node operators that just reach consensus and execute the code. And yeah, that's the Ethereum system. Of course, Scroll doesn't have that because Scroll uses Ethereum consensus as security. So what Scroll uses is OpenVM. So what OpenVM does is that if you write code in Solidity, it gets compiled into bytecode, and then that bytecode, that execution, true is sent to OpenVM to generate a validation proof. And this is important because we need to understand the technology behind the CK proving to understand what is possible and what is not possible on Scroll. And so the process is Solidity, bytecode, CK proof, and then Ethereum layer 1 verification. And so in that process, when you compile Solidity code into bytecode, we that's what we call the assembly or low-level EVM or opcodes and precompiles. So there are a couple of differences here that I'm going to highlight, and I think this can give you a better idea of what's happening behind the scenes. So the first thing is that when you compile to bytecode, and this is like the unit, the opcode is the small, and precompiles are the smaller unit of execution of code. So the cool thing about having OpenVM as an intermediary is that you can basically add more functionalities. You can add new features that don't exist on Ethereum layer 1. And that's great because we can add new features that maybe are not very important or too experimental to be added on Ethereum layer 1, but can be perfectly added on layer 2. So we have a couple of these precompiles, so extra features that make easier integrations. So the two main of them are the P256 verify. This is a signature verifications. Also the BLS 12 are both like signature verification precompiles or features that Scroll makes available for you. And what can you build with this? So the most important thing is that this precompile allows you to verify the signatures that are generated when you, for example, use your biometrics to log in with your phone. So when you use your face recognition, this generates a signature using the TEs inside of your phone, and this can be verified on chain, which I think is very, very cool, very unique. And you as a developers are free to use these tools too. And also the BLS12 that also helps you verify some CK signature. So if you're doing some advanced privacy or even layer 3s, these type of signatures can help you. On the other side, like there's also like some opcodes that are not relevant anymore, doesn't make sense anymore. For example, the self-destruct. Self-destruct was an old feature of Ethereum that you as a programmer, you can program that what will happen, like you can destroy a smart contract basically. And you can program what will happen when that smart contract is destroyed. But at the end, it just made everything very buggy. He just added a lot of bugs to smart contracts, and this could be exploited. So yeah, the Ethereum community decided to remove it. Of course, we don't need that to maintain that on a layer 2. And there's also like some, so this makes the code more easy to audit, yeah, more safe. So all the improvements that Ethereum has to carry on with the legacy, we don't need to do that. So that makes us like more lean, and it's better to integrate it this way. And also a couple of features that are not really, doesn't really make sense. Like for example, blobs or the random number generated from the consensus. This, because Scroll doesn't have a consensus, we can't introduce these opcodes. So yeah, just small differences. In general, every code that you write normally on Solidity should work just fine, so you don't need to worry about it. And also, I just didn't update the last point that I want to talk about, is that Ethereum Scroll in the past didn't support fully many hashing functions like cacheact256, easy recover, and these functions are now fully supported now because Scroll switched from the CK EVM to OpenVM. In summary, it's because OpenVM just makes everything better. And yeah, that's why Scroll switched to OpenVM, and now those precompilers that were not compatible before, now they are compatible. So yeah, everything that you're writing now should be working just fine. There's also some products that Scroll is building, like Cloak, some privacy functions for normal EVM nodes. This is for institutional use, but now that when institution starts adopting this, and developers will be able to, maybe as layer 2s or layer 3s, developers should be able to start deploying and using these new ecosystems that uses Scroll technology. So yeah, I want just to say that you can stay tuned, because Scroll historically has been just in the vanguard of a lot of technology, just releasing cutting edge technology into production. Scroll was the first CK EVM to launch and the first CK VM to launch with OpenVM. Scroll has also been supporting new precompilers, like for example, EAP 712 for smart EOA smart contracts, and that can be turned into smart contract, which I think is a very cool feature. So Scroll is always like ahead and bringing new features, and there are some new products that are in the works now. So I invite you to stay tuned to check what Scroll is building right now, because of course, yeah, all this tooling, if integrated into your products, can make you have some better user experience, and I think your users will love it. Okay, so what do you need to get started? How do you get started? So there are multiple avenues. Here are some that I'm going to recommend you. So if you have any question about the development, you can ask on the developers Discord channel on Discord. And yeah, I'm part of the developer experience team, so I always check on these messages. So if you have any question, feel free to post it there. Also, if you want to stay up to date with the news, you can go to the Scroll and the Scroll ecosystem Twitter accounts. Something that I would recommend you to do is go to the governance forum at forum.scroll.io, and it's very active lately. It's being more and more active, and it's gaining a lot of momentum, and I really appreciate what the governance is doing. So yeah, feel free to stay connected there and just maybe participate. And there are many initiatives, and I think there are great initiatives also for founders in the future. I think it will be yeah, great if you guys stay connected. Of course, you may have heard about Scroll Open and Scroll Campus is to just yeah, it's a learning program for founders. And also, if you want to take a look at all the applications deployed on Scroll that are connected with the BD team, you can go to the ecosystem page, and also you can connect to the BD team if you want to make an integration, or yeah, just connect with the wider ecosystem. So yeah, that's in general what you need to get started. Again, I'm sharing with you the frequently asked question page, so you guys can take a look. And yeah, just if you have any question, feel free to ask. And yeah, I also have some questions for you guys. So yeah, feel free to ask any question or any comment. If you want to know more about anything that I talk about, or yeah, feel free to grab the mic and ask.
Yeah, thanks, Ahmed. Great insight. I'm not sure. I've been looking to the documentation, but I'm not sure if I missed it. Are there like any scroll names or like some ENS linking there? How does it work? Like for instance, on base, there's some base names there. How does it work for scroll, or does it just resolve to ENS names?
ENS. As far as I know, there are no like scroll specific ENS. In general, what will be preferred for users, I think it will be just use the Ethereum mainnet ENS. You can resolve the ENS for any specific contract on chain through the bridge, and that wouldn't be like expensive at all. It would be like very cheap, but yeah, in general, also like I think if there are many ENS names in different chains, it can be harder for the user experience. But yeah, from the developer's point of view, I would recommend you to use the Ethereum mainnet ENS. Yeah, in your UI. Any other questions, or may I start asking my questions?
I think I have one, mostly
Yeah.
for the builders within community. Are there tooling gaps that you've seen that you would be interested for people to look into?
For building communities.
Yeah, just any tooling gaps you might have seen come up a lot that people
Tooling.
can, just get to building. Yeah.
Like for building building communities, like meetups and all of that.
Yeah, any kind of tooling gaps really that you might see that they currently don't exist on Scroll, and you'd be interested to see people address them and maybe build tools.
Yeah, I think there is a large white space like for building tools. I think that what people are using right now is mostly Luma, and also in the past and still POAP. So yeah, that's very interesting too. So what I like about UMA and POAP is that they use features that are, especially POAP, that are only possible on Web3. So having your proof of attendance as an on-chain NFT, I think is great because it's yours and it's not like in a database that may get lost in the future, but it's just there forever. So I think that's super valuable. So in terms of projects and products that I would like to see built, is how these tools, and it's not an easy question to answer and not an easy tool to build, but it's something that people will like to use, and also that uses is something that is only possible in blockchain. So a couple of examples that I can think about is, for example, um, mm, ticketing, but with privacy, for example, CK ticketing, stuff like that. It's like people, I think, will prefer using it, will be a better user experience because you know and you can verify that your ticket is valid. But when it's in an external database, you can't really know. And by using CK, you can also give privacy. So the people in the entrance will usually ask for some ID or something to check if you're the right attendant. But of course, that will leak your identity. That's not good. So I think tools like that, like people will love to use, and also uses secret technology. For example, other thing like with Ethereum attestation service, you can um, track if everything is recorded on chain. For example, who helped with what, if a community is doing, for example, a new event. So if someone helped with people in the entrance, just getting everyone started, someone else helped on social media. So if you give them some attestations with Ethereum attestation service, then you can know who you can build a reputation, for example. And blockchain is a great place to build your reputation because everything is verifiable. So yeah, of course, it's hard to know what is going to be used by people or not. It's hard to connect. It requires a lot of work. But yeah, that's what I think is more important, like things that people will use and that uses blockchain in a specific way. Yeah. Yeah, because we can build things that were not possible before, which I think is very exciting. Okay, so I have a couple of questions for you guys. So I see that you guys are building, you guys are creating products. So yeah, I just wanted to any of the teams to share maybe what tools are you using on Scroll? Maybe are you using Privy, maybe you're using Aave or Lido to generate yield. Yeah, I'm just curious about what tooling are you using? And also, it would be super great for us to know if you have found any blocker, something that yeah makes it harder for you to build. And yeah, basically, and also like if you have anything that you can think of that Scroll can do to help you reach your goals, to get there faster, yeah, just to grow. Yeah, I would like to know any of you guys' experiences or comments. This would be super valuable. Anyone wants to volunteer and share?
Yeah, so maybe I can ask a question.
Yeah.
You talked about Cloak and the new privacy features it's bringing to the Scroll ecosystem. So
Yeah.
you mentioned it's currently available for enterprise. So I'm curious to know when maybe you guys are thinking of rolling it out to maybe consumers or other developers who might want to like integrate it on their dApps. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cloak is open for anyone to use, but usually it will be mostly for like the target audience will be for deploying, because this will be like a new and different chain. So in this chain, the transactions will be invisible for everyone except the the chain operator. So this means that all the contracts can be deployed. Anyone permissionlessly can build here, but yeah, it will be different to build the front ends and everything because not all information is going to be public. So it's going to be a little bit different. But so a developer building a product, how will engage with Cloak? So I wouldn't recommend for an app builder to build a new chain with Cloak because it will be like a big headache because running a chain is very expensive, it's very hard, and you need to bring new products, you need to update the infrastructure, you need to cover the cost. It's very costly. So yeah, it's more for institutions that are already established that want to add some blockchain features. So you as developers, yeah, you can build on a chain deployed with Cloak. So right now, there is no like release date. The stack is ready and can be, so the institutions are experimenting with it. So yeah, it will depend on them. Yeah, setting a target date and starting deploying a new contract, and also for them to explain what type of application will be. So depending on that, the developers can build on top of the ecosystem. For example, if it's a NFT platform or if it's a gaming platform, you may be so if your application has anything to do with NFTs or gaming, will be super welcome. If it's a DeFi application from TradFi, for example, so bringing some well-established DeFi projects or strategies will be super interesting. So yeah, that will depend. Sorry, I can give you like a concrete answer because that will mostly depend on the institution adopting Cloak. Yeah. And in terms of development, it would be super similar because it's EVM and it's using the same scroll stack, but with the difference that you will need to adapt to not to the chain not being everything not being public always. So there will be like new RPC endpoints that you will have to hit to gather that public information and private information. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, but very that's a very great question because yeah, it's hard to figure out like or to imagine how the privacy application would work in a chain like this. And of course, if you want to build privacy applications on top of the application that you're already building, you don't need to wait for Cloak. You can already use CK and tools like Circom or Noir, or even ArcWorks. Or yeah, my recommendation is just get started with Noir or Circom, and you can add some privacy features to your application. For example, if you're building a paying or payments application, you can do private paying with CK. If you're doing a I don't know I don't know voting applications, you can do it privacy voting with CK. If you're doing a social media application, you can do like a private comments with CK. You can do that right now, and Scroll is a great place for building that because OpenVM is very, very compatible with Circom and Noir. That are the tools that you can use to build just today with to build CK application. Yeah, everything is ready for you. Mhm. Okay, any other question or any other or someone else want to share his experience? Mhm.
Yeah, so we did come across a blocker when it comes to on-ramp, off-ramp for some of the projects building here. And then we talked to Paycrest, who are doing payment routing, and they'd say they'd launch on Scroll. I think that's now done. So that was one of the major blockers we had because now the teams had to think about building now also on off ramps for their products. Also, I think Machuche, you've already deployed on Scroll. I don't know what blockers you guys experienced, if any. I think he's just I don't know if he's here. Yeah, so those were some of the bigger blockers, really. Collins, on your side, you know what you faced?
No, I think from my end, the same issue you've mentioned in terms of the on-ramp, off-ramp. Of course, now, releasing a token on Scroll to support the whole infrastructure, then I think that becomes quite important. So now it's just finding liquidity for that, which I think I haven't found any blockers so far in terms of maintaining the whole infrastructure on Scroll. Yeah.
I see. And you mentioned liquidity for bootstrapping a token that you want to launch?
Yeah. So how? Just a minute. Yeah. So how BPesa works is here in Kenya we do have the our fiat currency, which is Kenyan shillings. And so for that level of abstraction, where users are still dealing with Kenya shillings without that fluctuation in FX, we can't use USDC directly on the app. So we now have to have our own stable coin, which now will always maintain like a pegged value on the app. Then if they want to do USDC, they can swap, deal with USDC, USDT, and such. So that means every loading from our fiat has to mint basically the stable, the BKS on Scroll, and vice versa. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. By the way, you will say like the on-ramp off-ramp issue is being solved right now? Like what? I didn't understand. Like what is the status? Is it someone working on it, or is it still like an issue that you guys have?
Yeah, Collins, I believe Paycrest has off-ramp, but not on-ramp, right?
Yeah. So they are working on on-ramp, but currently just off-ramp.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I think that's very important, especially for new users, right?
Yeah.
And in a different in every country is you on-ramp and off-ramp in a different way. But yeah, I think that's very, very, very important. Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
And in terms of liquidity for bootstrapping, there's also, now that you mentioned that, feel free also to, if you have some ask, for example, if you have a need to not as a grant, but as a well, also as a grant, if you think is valuable for you, but also like if you need some initial liquidity to provide in your application, just an example, if you're building a DEX or something, or a prediction market or something, and you need to some liquidity to just bootstrap the pairs, you can ask the governance, for example, and say that, okay, I'm building this application and I'm building it on Scroll, and but to give just to get started, just need this bootstrap liquidity and to get everything going. I'm not saying that the governance will like 100% like back your proposal, but you can go to the governance and start the conversation. So it's just one avenue available for you guys to get started. So I would recommend you, if you haven't, go to the forum,
Yep.
the forum.scroll.io, and see like the ecosystem support channels that you
Okay.
have over there. I think there are many interesting things happening there. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Awesome. So I think we hosted the Paycrest team here for Mixer, and I think they'd mentioned also they'd reach out to the Scroll team and see what kind of support they can get there to roll out and support some of these founders, the teams. Yeah, so I think you can look out for that communication from them because they're widely used and their tech is a bit more mature, mostly on other in EVM. Yep. So I don't know. Gikenye hadn't introduced himself, but he's building Miniland. There was a finalist at the Open Campus. So I don't know what challenges or blockers, Gikenye, you might be facing currently, if any.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Gikenye. Currently, I'm the project lead at Miniland. Miniland is a USDC savings wallet that allows users to use their savings as collateral to take a loan. So essentially what happens is, assuming, let's say you're in Kenya and you're paying in Kenya shillings and you normally save your assets, let's say in a bank. So what Miniland envisions is, in such cases, you find like people lose a lot of their assets in value due to inflation and such kind of occurrences. Because most of these users are in emerging markets, and the inflation rate is quite high. So in this case, currently we are building on Celo and utilizing mentor FX stables like Celo Kenya shillings. So on Scroll, I still haven't seen such kind of tokenization that is mature to be used in a production level application. So I was wondering, how Miniland can work on Scroll to be able to cater for such. Yes, that's been my biggest question.
I see. So is it more of a protocol need, like all these, because all like these are like for yield generation, right?
Right.
Tool. So it's more about the protocols that you're more interested like in the protocol or the ecosystem itself of liquidity and yield. What is what is more interesting for you, like the existence of the protocols, like specific protocols deployed on Scroll, or the amount of liquidity, amount of users, or a specific something specific, like I don't know if you get my question.
I get your question. So what we're interested in is a local stablecoin that can be used on Scroll, so that it can be pegged on the Kenyan shilling, so that we can be able to utilize that to issue loans in local stables and save user assets in, let's say, USDC on Aave on Scroll. So that's my biggest question, if you get what that's exactly how BCAS works. So if we could have such liquidity on BCAS, it would be greatly of help in Miniland. That's what I believe.
And the stablecoin exists? Is an already existing stablecoin, or you guys want to create a stablecoin?
That is what is happening in BCAS.
Yeah, so Collins with BPESA, that's what he was talking about. He's launching a local stablecoin. And then what happened is Gikenye is asking, I had a block around finding local stablecoins. Now that Collins is building one, maybe Colin getting bootstrap liquidity, then Gikenye could also build upon that. And also NetPay provide payments and settlement on local stablecoins. So in Kenya, they could also utilize BKS and such. So it's within the products on this cohort, so to speak.
That's very interesting. Maybe something to discuss later, but I think that's very interesting. But just a follow-up question there. Yeah, maybe this is a little bit off topic, but I think this is very, very interesting talk. So the stablecoin is debt-backed, like Maker, right? So what you guys really need is just an oracle, a very trusted oracle, and liquidity to bootstrap. That will be it, right? It's not like it's going to be centralized. It's going to be a decentralized stablecoin.
Indeed.
Right.
Yeah, maybe having a combining, for example, Chainlink that is very available on Scroll, and then some bootstrap liquidity to get rolling the stablecoin from the governance, and then many apps can be built on top of that, like Miniland. That's very interesting.
Right.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
last question about it. Why do you think is like users in your region prefer the local stablecoin and not using something like USDC? Because here
Because you see,
I'm from just sorry to interrupt you. Just some background about myself. I'm from Latin America, and people here love using USDC everywhere. Yeah, people just love using USDC, and they don't really like using local currencies. So I'm curious to see why you guys are targeting local currencies and not USDC.
okay. So if I may answer the first question, why people may prefer local currencies. If you look at the Kenyan demographic and how Kenyans operate, we mostly use, the Kenyan shilling as the primary form of payment. So in the event like you show a user balances in dollars, that might come out not local enough for the person to trust the application. So, if we keep the local context in mind, it might be better at the long run. Yeah.
Super interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So, for example, so payments within one country could be done in the local stablecoin, but what this user is seeing, for example, behind the scene is BKS, but what the user is seeing is Kenya shillings, the denomination. But then when it comes to cross-border, and these people want to pay cross-border, they wouldn't mind using a USDC and USDT. But also, some of these teams are building a way that if I have Kenya shillings and I want to send to a Nigerian in Naira, I just want to send those Kenya shillings. And then behind the scenes, maybe swap into a stable and then Naira. That's all abstracted for them as well.
Super interesting.
Yeah, and also just programmability around local stablecoins. So if Miniland wants to build programmable ways around savings, around interest, around whatever it is, predictions, locks, and such, it will be easier when it's in local context, because that person, if they have money on their mobile money, it's in local currency. So they're just using that local currency on a DeFi app without now, opting out of it as well.
And do you think like it's easy to get the local currency value against the US dollar in public APIs? Does the government provide such a thing, or there's also like some different markets, alternative markets? Do you think it's because here in most countries in Latam, I think there are ways like to get a good oracle that can some oracle can get some trusted information from somewhere and put it on chain. But there are some countries that is all over the place. There are a lot of like Argentina, like there is a lot of different ways of valuing the Argentinian peso. Do you think that there is like one specific USD and your local currency value, or there are like multiples, and there's like a big black market or something, or not really?
Yeah, we're just like every other emerging market. Sometimes it's everywhere, so the API does exist, but also the many fragmented black markets or sub-markets existing. Banks have also their own prices. So the source of truth people use actually is USDT to the USDT prices on P2P markets.
Wow. Okay.
On
My question
Binance.
would be like,
Yeah.
how do you put that into a stable coin? That would be like a hard question to answer.
Yeah, I think Collins maybe can tell us how he's doing it.
Yeah. So currently, because our whole infrastructure, we have like a super agentic model. So what we are allowing for our super agents, who are basically liquidity providers for the ecosystem, is they deposit USDC. Basically, they are buying our BKS token via USDC. So meaning in terms of our reserve, we then have a USDC BKS pool. Then now that BKS is what now will be used to, for users on ramping and off ramping. So currently that's the model, yeah.
Very interesting. Yeah, I think we're a little bit over time, but yeah, happy to follow the conversation on Telegram or somewhere else. But yeah, I'm very happy to see all what you guys are building, and also super thankful for you guys for all the insight, all your questions, and all the information that you share with me. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. We'll join the communities. I believe we're mostly there already, but I will look forward to tagging you there. Also, I think the forum idea was much welcome. So guys, feel free to go over there and just make your proposal. We have delegates around here like Rosalind who can guide you maybe and just educate you on how to make proposals and stuff like that. So thank you very much, Ahmed. This
Yeah.
was quite valuable.
Great to see that you guys are already connected and you guys are already building. Yeah, happy to support you however I can.
Awesome. Enjoy your week.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.